guys, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Lenz, and today we're going to be talking about something very common that I've been hearing lately, and I've been feeling this way as well, which is feeling wired but tired. But before I get into it, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a helpful video. And if you're feeling extra feisty, leave a comment below. If you're feeling this way, if you've experienced these things, if I've helped you with these things, comment below. I love to hear your feedback and your thoughts. So I think we all can agree it's been a crazy year, and we're coming down to the wire to the end of the year now, and we're all feeling that stress, the craziness, the change of schedules. And now we're getting to the point where honestly, I think we're kind of reaching our tipping point. That's why I wanted to make this video, so this can help you kind of look at how your days are going and what we all can do to help ourselves. So the big thing, like I said earlier, feeling wired but tired. What do I mean by that? Because that sounds really catchy and also very true. So what I mean by that, for example, is like right before bed or throughout the whole day, you feel so tired, and then right before bed, you do feel tired, but you're like, all of a sudden you're like awake. And there is a reason for that. And we're going to go over one possible reason why we are feeling that way. And we're going to go over also common things that go hand in hand with feeling wired but tired. First, I'm going to walk through a day with you that I hear a lot, and then also things I experience when I know I need to help this certain part or area of my body. Usually what I'll hear is, I wake up, first of all, I have a hard time sleeping. I can't fall asleep. It's just, I'm like tired, but again, I just am awake. I feel awake at the time that I actually need to be sleepy. Now, and then when I wake up, I am super tired, of course, because I didn't sleep well at all. And I need caffeine. I gotta take caffeine right away just to get me going. Otherwise, I just feel absolutely horrible. I then get an energy boost, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good for the day. I'm feeling optimistic. Everything is good to go. But then the 2 or 3 o'clock time slump happens, and I'm back to feeling so tired, miserable, low on energy. And then maybe this is a little, hit or miss with people, is around that dinner time, you might start to feel a little bit more energized. So, 6 o'clock, I feel a little bit more energized. I feel a little bit of a boost, but then, man, once bedtime comes around, I'm tired and I'm wired. I cannot fall asleep, but I just want to. That's all I want to do is go to sleep. Does this sound like you? I know this is me sometimes. I will definitely need that boost of caffeine first thing in the morning. I'll have trouble falling asleep. I'll go to sleep, and then sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have a hard time then falling back asleep. If you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds like a very much like up and down energy wise throughout the day. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do from the stress that our body is taking on from the things we're doing day in and day out. So as you can imagine, not getting good quality sleep across time is going to build up and attribute to that stress that we are feeling. Number 2, things like loading up on caffeine. So we're going to think coffee, even tea. If we're doing a lot of tea, we're gonna think energy drinks. These are very common nowadays. So even if we're doing like all 3 of these across the day, this can really start to impede certain processes that are happening in our body. Not only that, when we start to feel tired and stressed, our cravings tend to go up. So we crave salty things, sugary things, and we reach for them because we don't have any self-control right now. We are under stress, which is super understandable, okay? I used to do it a lot, but now that I understand my body a bit more, I do other things to help myself. Now, other things that it can attribute to chronic stress, so things we can see within ourselves, is going to be, I talked about fatigue, feeling wired but tired. Caffeine is no longer giving us a boost of energy, okay? We're just drinking it just to get by because we feel better, rather than not drinking it at all. That caffeine is helping in that way. Also, belly fat. So our body is hanging on to that belly fat. Brain fog is another one. So kind of forgetting things or just not being able to focus. Cravings, I already went over, or intense hunger. So we're hungry even though we already ate. And then also things like rashes, and we can start to get into autoimmune issues as this stress becomes more and more chronic. Now, I haven't even gone over why. Okay, we went over what's going on, what are we feeling. Now, one reason this can happen and occur is that our adrenal glands are becoming very overworked and fatigued. All of the things I went over above that we're doing as far as not having a good sleep cycle, eating a lot of sugary foods, loading our body with caffeine, this can start to fatigue our adrenal glands. And the big role of adrenal glands is to produce hormones, in particular sex hormones and our cortisol hormone. Now, if you've listened to me talk before, if you're in Team Schmidt Fit, you're familiar with the cortisol hormone, which is our stress hormone. And our adrenal glands produce the cortisol hormone. So cortisol is not bad. It might sound bad because I said cortisol is our stress hormone. Cortisol is actually very normal when it's in balance. That's the thing. When our adrenal glands become overworked, overstimulated by chronic stress, they become imbalanced in producing these vital hormones to feel good and to have a normal sleep cycle. Here's the normal balance of cortisol, typically. Okay, typically cortisol is going to rise in the morning, and that is going to be the hormone that helps us wake up and feel awake and feel energized. As we go throughout the day, that cortisol hormone is going to naturally decrease, and with that comes an increase in melatonin, which I think a lot of us are familiar with melatonin, that makes us feel sleepy. So that's when our adrenal glands are functioning optimally. That's when we're feeling good and energized for the most part. We're going to have that natural rise and fall in our cortisol hormone, which is our stress hormone. Now, when we're overworked, overstimulated, overstressed, that cortisol hormone is going to be fired up all the time, and we're going to feel that fight or flight response. We're going to feel wired, but then also we're going to feel tired on top of that because, again, our sleep is being affected. Okay, so does that make sense? So I want you all to understand just the normal cycle of that cortisol hormone. Okay, so now that we understand, we need to address more than likely the adrenal glands when we're feeling this way. And as you guys know, I'm a big believer, the body is all interconnected, okay? Working on gut health, working on the adrenal glands, working on the thyroid gland, all of these things can be super beneficial. So this is just one thing that we can do when we're feeling this way. So how do I like to help myself when I'm feeling this way, and what do I recommend? Well, first of all, we need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Check with how we're really feeling, what's going on, how are our emotions, write them down, create a visual for yourself, and create a little nice set point to start. Number two, most commonly, it's that caffeine intake, from energy drinks to coffee to tea, every single day, multiple times a day, as well as sugar. So sugary drinks, pop is a big one, juices, things that are very sneaky. So check those out. And what I do is I cut back and out. I never go cold turkey when I cut anything out of my diet, so to speak, or my days, because it's very hard on myself as far as getting headaches and withdrawals, and it's just harder to stick to. So I like to cut back, so gradually decrease the intake and then completely out for a duration of time. And that's why I call things cycles. Number two, once we cut out those things that are impeding our adrenal glands from functioning at their best, what I then do is always add in to help nourish that particular area. So the two things that I like to do when I'm focusing on this is, number one, the Adrenal Restore is going to be a specific supplement for the adrenal glands to help reboot them and restore them and get them back up to functioning naturally as they should. So it's like a multivitamin for the adrenal glands. This is something I personally cycle in throughout the year, but I do have other people that take it year round. Number two that I love to add in, and I currently take it now, is Core 21. Core 21 works on cortisol. So it is going to help the adrenal glands. It's going to help that cortisol hormone, and it's going to help us get deep, restful sleep. So Core 21 is something that I take right before bed. It helps me fall asleep super fast, and it also helps me stay asleep. So I'm not waking up constantly throughout the night. Not only does it help with that deep sleep, like I said, it actually addresses the root cause of the problem. So we're not just masking it with like the melatonin capsule that we can take or sleepy time tea. We're actually addressing, why am I not sleeping throughout the night? Lastly, as you guys could probably guess, is to work on de-stressing behaviors. I personally love to do foam rolling, stretch out my muscles, do a little USA to help my stress. And a lot of times I'll do that right before bed to set my nervous system up for that sleep. And then also, it doesn't have to be said, the more whole, real, fresh food we eat, the more nourishing it is to our body and also to things like our adrenal glands. And that's why we have the daily feel good on drlindsayschmidt.com. Shameless plug, but it's true. That's why our meal plans are there. Our recipes are there for balanced, real whole food meals. So there you have it. Feeling wired but tired. We can do it. We can help ourselves. It just always takes time and a good hard focus on that particular area. If you guys have any questions, please drop it down in the comments. Let me know. Give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. I also put all the supporting links below with everything I talked about in this video. We'll talk to you guys later.